our host.
That's right. He's in charge.
Yeah, Jeremy.
Yeah, we're just
I
gonna
mean,
wing it.
this is yeah. So, I mean, how
Thanks
do you
for
want to do it?
there we go. Thanks for hanging out tonight. But yeah, if we did 25 per person, we'd be here till midnight.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Mark?
What's happening, Mark? So yeah, I don't know how I mean,
Well, this
everybody's
is
doing their
your
top 25 or
show.
top 50 or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm sticking to 10. I think I actually have 11. So
Yeah.
I'm claiming I have 11. I'm counting 5 cards as 1 because I'm cheating.
Yeah. Okay.
Mark,
So
that's a cap sweater is pretty dope.
See if caps.
Look at this thing.
So Caps and Niners, that's an interesting set of allegiances.
Yeah, I'm from DC.
Gotcha.
Originally, Redskins have always sucked my entire life. As far as I'm concerned, they've had a winning season or two, but they were easy to hate when I was a kid. And I'm an '80s kid, so Niners all the way. But
I mean, I don't know why I'm bringing that up. I'm a Detroit Lions and Ohio State Buckeye fan, so you can't get any more opposite than that.
You can't get any more Midwest than that, man.
That's true. That's true.
All right, so since you're gonna have to jet at like 9:15, why don't you lead us off?
All right, so I put some artificial rules in place so I could show the maximum amount of football cards. So my top 10 is going to be all football. I did it to where I kind of capped it at 1 card per person because there would have been a couple duplicates of some of my Lions guys in there. I think it breaks down to where I have 3 modern football in there and 7 vintage football. But I did have to do a little bit of a very quick sidetrack here. Mostly because Jason and Jeremy encouraged me to do it. If I were to do a full top 10 across sports, I have an awful lot of Jack Johnson cards that I picked up this year. So I was just going to flash those up real quick. This is where I said I'm counting this as 1 card. But I picked up 5 Jack Johnsons this year. This is a Will's Cigarettes, green circle back. This is the 1912 Cohen Weenan. That one actually has the black back, a little more rare. I know we probably don't have a ton of boxing people out there, but nonetheless. Also picked up a Cuban 1915 Susini Jack Johnson. And my 2 favorite Jack Johnson in my collection this year, I got the T227 and the 77. So It was a good year for my Jack Johnson PC. So I just wanted to flash those real quick before I get into my
stuff, Justin. Awesome.
I love 27s. That was a great card.
Yeah, I figured I had to throw them out there, and I got another deal maybe in the works. I'm going to find out about tomorrow for another Jack Johnson. So hitting that pretty hard. That's why Jeremy got so many of my chickles because I was at least one reason that I started going after more Jack Johnson cards. So everybody won there.
Yeah.
But as far as my top 10 football pickups of the year, starting with number 10, 52 Bowman Large, Paul Brown. This is one where I owned a copy years ago that was kind of a raw beater. Didn't like it, sold it off, looking for the right one at the right price. And this one is a real nice eye appeal, 2.5. Picked it up at a price I was real happy with. Great card, great set. I just mentioned I'm a Ohio State fan in college football, Buckeye ties there. So definitely happy to get that one. Number 9, and the order these are in, by the way, is just the order that I personally like them. Nothing too scientific about it.
Actually, what I think I'm going to do is we're going to each show one. We'll just go around.
Right. There we go. Yeah, that's too much of me talking. I thought the same thing. It's like everyone else is saying the same thing. It's like, dude, cut this guy off.
That was funny.
Jason, I know you're ready.
Okay, so number 10. I'll choose the Jordan, Michael Jordan. So like his star, what is it? 101 rookie is now stupid priced. So I ended up getting the rookie of the year 1984
Oh,
star. So, and actually, shoot, this is actually now getting crazy because whenever one of them is out of reach, well, then like the second place kind of takes off. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So
Yep.
yeah, so that's number 10.
All right. Bart, you are going to be next.
All right, I have zero particular order, but I'm just going to stick with the stack that it's at. I went across sports for just 10 pickups. My bigger pickups are in the pile, I think, for the year, but I wanted to make sure I showed a smattering of sports as well. Since I got a hockey jersey, I'll start with hockey first. There's some old hockey rookies that are probably a little out of my boundaries, especially as the fourth sport that I collect or whatever, but there's still players that I want, and I really am digging cards across all sports, but hockey's pretty good at it, where they put the nickname on the card.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got a 55 Parkhurst Rocket Richard there.
Sweet,
That's gorgeous, man.
sweet card.
I love having some vintage hockey being shown.
that's really cool.
I love the color on vintage hockey too. It's so tough because man, it's 4 sports deep on me, but
Yeah.
Great cards.
All right. I guess I'll do this. I have no real order either, but
Lance,
this is my
oh,
Lance Elliott rookie. Not really a hard card to find, but finding
find.
a standard is pretty tough, and that's
Yeah.
what I've got here. So nothing more to say really about it, but it's a dead center copy of what, the third best wide receiver of all time? Rice, Hudson, Allworth, something like that.
I think you can make that argument.
And then Del Schaffner fourth.
I assume Schaffner's like number 2 or 3 on this list. Yeah,
shoot, every pod he has,
everyone.
every time he has to be brought up.
It's a thing.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right.
He's not getting in the hall again this year either. I assumed you were kind of leading the charge, being angry about that.
I was not happy. Not at all. All right, let me mess with this layout. Back to you.
All right. Number 9, got a 50 Bowman Sammy Baugh. It's in a PSA 3. I still really can't figure out why. Usually I can. Usually I can take a look and kind of get it. This one, fantastic looking card for the grade. And I think if you have one Sammy Baugh card, to me, the 48 Leaf is the one to have. But if you just went based on looks, to me, aesthetically, this is his best looking card, in my opinion. So that's my favorite set of all time, 50 Bowman. I'm not sure why, but I've been a bit picky about that one over the last couple of years. So I was glad to finally get that 50 Bowman ball in the collection this year.
Good card. Can't go wrong with any Sammy Baugh, to be honest.
Yeah,
Or the
I
50
agree.
Bowman.
All-time great.
Love the helmet in that.
All-time great, for
Great
sure.
photo.
Okay, so number 9, I guess I'll probably try to go baseball. So I'll go 1952 Bowman Willie Mays.
Whoa.
Let's see
Dropping
if
some
like the
heat.
glare. Yeah, so obviously like the rookie used to be cheap. Now it isn't, and like the tops isn't really cheap either. So like that was kind of the way to go, try to get a really early nice maze.
Yeah,
So-
I think compared to Mantle, Mays is kind of undervalued, though.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
I'd say Mantle is way overvalued. I'm gonna throw that one in there.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you.
Yeah,
That's always
You can
seemed
say
like
that too.
from the outside looking in for vintage baseball. Is I don't people have
Some
explained
baseball guys
it,
just
get it,
signed off of the podcast. I'll say it though.
Yeah.
All right, Bart,
Okay,
you're
Bart.
next.
Now that Bart stirred the pot.
I'll go basketball. That's the next one on the pile here. Good number of 61 fleers that are necessary for a decent basketball PC. I got a ways to go, but I got a Jerry West this year.
Very nice.
Nicely centered.
Sweet.
The
Yeah, it's
logo
really well
on a PSA 3.
Sweet.
And these are great because, I'm pretty competitive on the football sets, but the other sports sets, I'm not as competitive, especially in basketball and hockey. So I can just go purely off of eye appeal, and you get a nicely centered, nice colored one. You can get wonders in just a 3. So there you go.
Yeah, what's the premium on centered 61 Fleer?
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Is it?
Centering plays a huge part of like the
3.5.
price.
Sold myself short. It's pretty good. I can't say I can speak to it too well because when there's some really poorly centered ones out there, and I just blow right past them so much. I'm a snob on the center for the vintage ones. Because stay in there, then I don't even worry about the grade. But so it's got to be at least 20-25% of a nicely centered one versus an averagely centered one sometimes. So
Yeah, I kind of looked at. I want to pick up a Bill Russell from that set, but I'm not quite there yet. But yeah, the centering, like on the Wilt in the West, and what is it, Elgin Baylor, another one, right?
and Oscar Robertson.
Oscar Robertson, yeah. All right. Speaking of being a centering snob, I'm the same way. And let's see if this carries over.
Very nice.
There you go.
So yeah, this is again not a very hard find, but finding one centered and without the tilt to it is pretty tricky. So it took me forever to find one of these at a good price that I liked. Centering is almost perfect on this one.
Color looks great too.
What's that?
Color looks great too.
Yeah, it's
very bright.
Fantastic.
I
And
love that
didn't pay a premium for it either, which is even better.
Well, let's just
slide. There's that one.
Sayers is a must-have for any football guy, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I like that set a lot too, just in general. I like the look of those 66 Philly cards. His card, the Butkus, the Hayes. You got some great cards in that set.
Yeah, and some of them are always tilted or off center or both, like all the time.
Yeah, I think that set is like beautifully traditional. The way the boxes are there, you get the namings and everything like that, but it's a nice white border. It's just a very traditional looking set. The cardboard, screams cardboard at you the way it's, but
I think that's a good way to put it. When you think about what does vintage football look like, I feel like 66 Philly is one of the examples that you give.
For sure.
So I guess, is it me again with number 8? Well, going from traditional vintage football to, I guess, not so much. I have a couple modern ones in here. And I think every year I've been back into collecting. If I did a top 10 list at the end of the year, I got to have a Barry in there somewhere. I had 2 that were kind of competitive for this spot. But I went with the 97 Stadium Club Triumvirate Atomic Refractor. I got this earlier in the year, and I'm glad I did. I was kind of poking around at prices of these recently, and it's a lot more than I paid for this back in, I think it was January or February. But I wanted to get a Barry Atomic Refractor. That was one of my kind of nostalgia goals for the year, and glad I nailed this one. I really have always liked this set. There's some really nice cards in there if you're a 90s football guy.
Yeah, I feel like 90s inserts are catching some fire, especially like the Atomics. Those are
the level of die cut on
right
that.
at TO.
Who's on the side of that?
What's that?
Those triumvirates, right? Who are the other 2 pieces for your Lions?
You got to Google that.
Oh, I don't.
I think now Herman Moore's in there.
Yeah.
And I can't
Charlie
remember who
Batch.
is
Charlie
it Charlie
Batch.
Batch?
I
Is it
don't know.
really?
Rodney
I'm
Peters.
just, I'm just,
Herman Moore
I'm
is in
just,
there
I'm just throwing out names.
yeah, that's ice cold to sit there and have name. Well, that's why Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson are so expensive. It's because historically, it's like, who are Lions guys that grew up in my generation? Who are we going after, right?
Yeah.
Hey, he's one of
Chris
the
Field-
greatest, though. He's one of the greatest. Barry
Well,
Sanders, hands down.
yeah,
Awesome. Awesome
Barry and
player.
Calvin always going to be up there in price. And even guys like Chris Spielman and Herman Moore, like their cards are more
Yeah.
expensive than they should be. They're still not expensive, just in terms of like overall like cost, but relatively speaking, they're more expensive than they should be because Lions collectors are like, okay, we got Barry, we got Calvin. Where are we going for guys in the 90s, 2000s era? And that's about
Scott
it.
Mitchell.
Oof, you got to stop bringing up some of these names. You know what, Charlie Batch? I don't remember Charlie Batch badly. Charlie Batch was probably our best quarterback in my lifetime until we had.
Only a true Lions fan would remember him. And for some reason, I did too. He popped
Dude,
in my
Eastern
mind. I was
Michigan
like,
Eagles,
Charlie
man.
Batch.
He was Michigan all the way.
But
Oh, God, that's funny.
a good one too.
Okay, so we're on number 8.
Yeah.
Okay, so since Bart he brought up the Fleers, I had a Wilt Chamberlain, I think it was a PSA too. Off-center, just kind of ugly, but it was a Chamberlain rookie. So coming into 2025, I said I need a nice, centered, beautiful Chamberlain. So I ended up getting a 3, and I'm not sure if
Ooh,
you can see it. It is nicely
that is
centered,
nice.
and I
Beautiful.
mean it's just beautiful. So I am happy. Yeah.
Yeah, you
So
should be. It's gorgeous.
yeah. Yeah. I love it. So
You love it, but it's number 7, number 8.
well, I mean, are we going
I'm
in
kidding, man.
order? I thought we're just kind of showing as we go.
I think I'm the only person going in any order.
Oh yeah, it's
I'm just
like I'm not
messing with
going in
you.
order.
I think I'm up. I'm definitely not going in order either. I don't even know what's on the bottom of the pile. But the next one is another basketball one. As I was, I get a couple basketballs each year, not a ton, but over time it adds up. And I knew I was lacking on the vintage side of things. And outside of a couple of 48s that are notable for basketball, they don't have many sets. And the next set up there is 57. And the big one, and one of the big ones in that one, obviously, there's
Ooh,
Sweet.
Bob Cousy.
Cozy.
very cool.
Yeah, that's on my watch list.
Sweet card.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
So, pretty happy with that one. So, I added a little bit of vintage basketball to the PC this year.
Nice.
Yeah, I think you guys might be like, I feel like I'm falling behind. I don't have any vintage basketball.
Mhm.
I used to
He's gonna
have
pull
quite a
out a
bit.
Del Schaffner. Oh God. Okay.
No regret. No shot, right?
Here it goes.
Do this. All right.
Oh,
I picked
Nice.
this up a couple of months ago. This is the 98 Bowman's Best
Nice.
atomic refractor of Dan Marino. The Marino guy. So, but these things,
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome pickup.
that's a good card.
yeah, these are numbered out of 100, and the pictures and lighting, all that doesn't do them justice. They're stunning in hand.
I got one of those in my pile too. So, good pickup. I support
Yeah, I
that one.
love
Yep.
these.
Yeah. Love it.
And a 90s QB insert. Those are tough.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So we had Jeremy show the Sayers, which I think we said that 66 Philly is one that screams vintage football. I think this is another set you'd say that about 55 Topps All American. My number 7. I really started to like this card more and more over time. It's just so unique. Having all 4 guys in there, kind of commemorating one of the iconic periods in college football, those Notre Dame teams of the 20s. And this is, I don't know, I like the copy. It's nicely centered. And I think it's just a really, really, really cool card to own from a great set. And that was one that I was able to add this year. And yeah, probably my second favorite card in the set. This in the Hudson. I like the Thorpe, but I think I prefer this one just slightly. To be honest, maybe that's more blasphemy, but that's kind of my 2 cents on that.
No, that 4 Horseman card's pretty cool looking.
Yeah, I like the colors.
Yeah, I agree.
Just again, it's nice. It's unique, right? Having those 4 guys on there. And I think a really cool one.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could put above Thorpe, but I like the card.
You know what it is about the Thorpe is I feel like because Thorpe has that 33 Gaudy, 55 is just it's far removed from his playing days, and he has other cards before it. Like with the Horseman, right? It's far removed from their playing days, but there's not something before it. With Hudson, it's far removed from his playing days, but there's not really something mainstream before it. So I think that's kind of where I kind of draw the line a bit. But the Thorpe is still a great card. Don't get me wrong. It's an awesome card. I just prefer this one slightly.
I'll buy that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm up number 7. Since we were talking 90s, I was a huge Allen Iverson guy. So
Nice.
the 96 credentials rookie was a huge card for me.
Sick, yeah.
So
Wow.
Love those.
love it. It's just a beautiful card, and they're also very pricey now. Especially Kobe. I wanted the Kobe, but now even in like a shoot, a 6 is probably almost 12,000. So it's
PayPal paying
it's out of
4.
reach. Yeah, so I wasn't able to snag Kobe, but
Is Iverson pretty popular?
oh yes,
in the collectors?
very
Yeah.
popular.
I can believe that because he was huge. I remember, being kind of at that age. I think I was in 6th grade in 96 when he came into the league. I remember for about 3 straight years, we were all in the driveway just practicing our crossover, trying to, obviously, a bunch of short white kids trying to, mimic Iverson's moves. Obviously, it was like
That's
super
funny.
slow motion, but in our minds, it's like, dude, we got to be the next AI. I had a pair of questions, whole 9 yards. So, I know my brother, who's a big basketball collector, he is huge on Iverson because it's kind of that same time period where he was just, for many years, I would argue that until you get into the 2000s kind of Kobe Shaq era, Iverson was a bigger deal than Kobe for many, many years.
Ooh.
I'll say this. I think he was kind of a pop culture because
Exactly.
he showed up, he had the braids, he had the baggy clothes. He brought pop culture into basketball.
He
Obviously,
crossed over Jordan as a rookie too.
yeah, dude, beautiful play. But obviously, he was really, really good. But is he like the top probably 10? Not even close. But in terms of like the pop culture charisma type thing, he was huge back in the day. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Huge.
Yeah, I think did I lose sound on him or is it just me there? Yeah, big Iverson fan. I gotta wrap that one up a little bit too, right? Like if you're a Sixers fan, that was the only guy, and then just he made the ball movement popular again, right? Handing the ball, and then
Yeah.
6'3", comparatively, like that's still really tall for most people, but he looked small out there. So the small people of the world, right, could a lot much closer than with him than a Shaquille O'Neal or something like that. My next card at random is a 90s card, so got a couple of 90s in this round. Not an insert, but a print run of 2000. And while I'm a Niners guy and we've got a couple of Hall of Famers on the team, this was my favorite quarterback to watch while he played.
Oh, very nice.
Manny.
man.
8 and PSA 9. I'm real happy to put this one back in the collection this year after I sold it during COVID times for a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah,
Sweet.
that's probably my favorite Manning card.
That's on my
rookie card.
want list.
Yeah, I'm not big a fan of horizontal cards, but this one I'll make an excuse for or whatever. Obviously, it's his prime, traditional rookie for registry sets and things like that, and the known one. But not a cheap card either, so I was proud of myself to prioritize that purchase and not spending a couple of bucks for a while to make sure I could pull that one back in. So happy to have that one.
All right, this is my in no particular order again. I pride myself being a vintage football card collector, and I didn't have a Jim Brown rookie until about a month ago. So really wanted one well centered, good registration, and the price had to be right. And this one checked all the boxes. It's a little off center, left to right, but
That card's tough on centering, though. That's well centered for a 58 Brown.
Yeah, that's a good looking card.
Yeah.
yeah, and I wanted the black of the card to be black. I didn't want a lot of snow, and this one does not have a lot of snow on it.
Yeah. It's tough to get all of those things at the same time. That's a really good looking 3.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet card. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Who's up? We're gonna
Justin.
go to Justin.
All right, number 6. So I got my Lions PC, guys. This is probably my biggest football PC guy outside my Lions. And when I was in, I think it was 7th grade, was the 97 college football season when you had Peyton Manning, Charles Woodson, Randy Moss all going for the Heisman. Great year, great class. Randy Moss played at Marshall, and they were in the MAC at the time. And I grew up in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, land of Central Michigan University. And Marshall came to Central Michigan that year. And my dad knew a guy who used to be the head trainer at Central Michigan, who had a friend who was like the trainer at Marshall. And he was able to tell us when the practice would be. So we got into the field and waited for Randy Moss to come off of Marshall's last walkthrough before the game on a Friday. We caught Randy Moss, and I'll tell you what, he was the coolest dude, man. He sat there, he threw the ball with us and signed some stuff for us. And after that, I just always followed his career, and as a kid collected him. And then when I got back into the hobby, collected him. I did not own a nice Randy Moss auto. And then I picked up this one a few months ago. This is
Sweet.
2000 SPX winning materials. You have the player worn jersey, player used football. It's not a 10 auto grade, but I don't know why. It's a nice crisp auto on there. And Randy Moss has some really nice autos between 1998 and 2001. So this one, I was finally able to find one I liked and negotiate a deal that wasn't too expensive, because his stuff, man, I feel like it's just shot up. So I was pretty happy to get something as to where I didn't have to go.
That's an on-card auto, right?
Yeah, on-card auto. Yeah, it's a sharp one. I negotiated back and forth with the guy, and I was excited when we finally were able to strike a deal on it.
Yeah.
I've been in your
Awesome
negotiations
card.
before. You're tough.
Yeah, we have had a lot of those this year.
Okay, number 6. Let me think. I'll probably do baseball again, and I'll do the guy that everybody says is overrated. Mickey Mantle, 1952. Mickey Mantle. Once again, a rookie is way out there, and obviously, like, the tops is everybody's grail. So that was pretty much as close as I was able to get to a rookie card of Mantle.
I actually prefer the 52 Bowman to the tops. That's just me.
I love his true rookie, and I had opportunities years and years ago, but now they're just like high, super expensive. So
those PayPal,
you know how that goes.
Help you out though.
Yeah.
All right. Next one on my pile is a back to football vintage. I actually, I'd sold a lot of cards in COVID out by a house, but I had never owned this one. It took me a long time to get around to it. Always thought I was going to get a 4, and I finally sprung for something legitimate. And I guess I was thankful that I was patient and didn't get that 4 when it was easier. But 57 star picked up
And
a
it's
6 here,
Beautiful card.
6?
I love that card.
and
Yeah, beautiful card.
old label too. I don't like a lot of those mid-years labels from PSA, but those old ones have a little bit of nostalgia to me sometimes now.
Yeah. That the
PSA.
registration on that
Beautiful
was
card though.
perfect.
Yeah, it's very nice. Good color.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, super tough card too.
Okay. This is my 48 leaf Bobby Lane rookie card, the red pants variation. And I got this one under $500. And
Sweet.
the pop on
Yeah.
this is super, super low. And the centering on it's almost perfect too.
I was gonna say that's dead center.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
really tough card to find, even tougher to find one centered. And then the registration is off the charts.
That's a super rare variant there. You don't see that one very often. And not only is it well centered, but it's full size borders on all 4 sides in different sizes.
Yeah, chunky borders.
Then some people trimmed them over the years, but you can't catch them very well because they were issued in different sizes. That's 4 very clean full size borders. That's nice.
Yeah, I'm super happy with this one.
Red is just like screaming at you when you look at it.
I gotta look at the pop.
It's one of my favorite cards that I have, just because of the condition it's in, and then the rarity.
Yeah.
All right, so with this one, I think we'll talk a little bit less about eye appeal than own appeal. This was one that's been on my radar for a while, partially because I feel like it's just very unique, and I don't know, guy that's a bit controversial toward the end of his career, but a big part of the history of football, and that is the 1950 Feltback Joe Paterno. I've just always thought this set was really cool, and the Paterno to me was the card I wanted from it. It's his only playing days card, obviously, as a player, not really well known, but as a coach, one of the more iconic college football coaches. Again, obviously a bit of controversy surrounds him too, but really wanted to get this card. It's got the cool the Brown University pennant on the back there. I just think it's a really unique item. These things are extremely tiny. I hadn't seen one in person until a couple of years ago, and I'm glad it's slab, because if you had this thing lying around, I'd probably lose it. But yeah, it's a 1. But the thing is, honestly, if you get in real close, you can tell that it's obviously got some issues. But the nature of this card, it kind of lends itself well to looking okay in low grade, if that makes sense. So yeah, that was one. I put that one at my number 5 for the year.
Yeah, that looked gorgeous. Like, if you have to squint up close to find the.
If you get in real close, you can tell that it's got a wrinkle or 2 on it. But I mean, when you just take a glance at it, it does not look that. It doesn't look bad, to be perfectly honest, especially for a 1 grade.
Yeah, and for tough cards like that, it's hard to be picky, right? So you kind of lucked out with a great eye appeal 1.
Yeah, it was one of those that came on eBay, and the first day it came up there, I shot the offer. I offered strong, sort of one of those where it was right at highest recent comp, and accepted and just got it because I wasn't going to mess around with that one, because they don't come up very often in grades I can afford.
Yeah, for those, you kind of got to throw comps out the window in a way. I mean,
yeah,
can't get
opportunities.
Opportunities, yeah.
Although there's been some people getting carried away on some cards on eBay lately. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
So number 5, I know everybody says that Brady is the GOAT, but growing up, This guy, and he still is my GOAT. You know what I mean? So 1996 Upper Deck
Oh,
game jersey Joe Montana. And it's a lower grade, it's a 6. But these in any grade, even raw, are not cheap.
Nope.
And I mean, shoot, they don't pop up often. So honestly, I was just happy to actually have one. So yeah, so
Yeah,
this
those are
is
cool. The first
number 5.
game worn jersey memorabilia cards.
Yes, sir. Iconic.
Yep.
I've held on to both my kidneys all these years just so I can sell one if the Barry Sanders ever pops up in that.
Oh yeah, shoot, shoot, those are pricey now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Very
it's
Very
going if
pricey
it
now.
comes out. Yeah, they are, but
Very
man,
pricey.
that's so cool, Jason.
Yes, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, Jason keeps trying to get my my Jerry Rice PSA 8 out of my hands.
Yeah, I keep.
All right, my next one is baseball, and I've always been in love with this card. I had one. I paid. There's a vivid story in my mind. I paid for PSA 4. I paid $1,600 for it, and when the next year, within 1 year, I'm talking 12 months on the dot, COVID times hit, and the prices of cards just went through the roof. And this was the one. It got so big, I was just like, I can't not capitalize on these types of gains that are happening in the market. And that 4 I sold for 13,000 and some change 12 months later, but I finally added it back in a 2.5.
Nice.
Love it.
The 49
Love
bucks.
that card.
Yeah.
Beautiful Jackie, man. I
Nice.
love that
Gorgeous.
Jackie. Like
I-
that smile.
to picking it up, but these started to skyrocket again, and I was like, I don't want to get left behind again, so I had to strike on it.
That's a
Very
great.
nice. Beautiful.
Love that card.
Yeah.
Back to my guy Dan Marino. Like,
Nice.
I've always wanted a Marino auto, and I don't love the Upper Deck Heroes card at all. So I kind of pivoted to a rookie auto, and this one, it's a PSA 7 with a 10 auto.
That's great.
The nicest PSA 7 you're ever going to find. This card, if you know about it, 84 tops are very common that they're off center and or have a tilt to them. This one is dead nuts centered on the front. I think the back is, the back is clean too. But who cares about the back?
Yeah.
See, Marino was my GOAT. The pinnacle of Miami Dolphins football. It's never going to get back there. And they
You
still
got
didn't win the
Tua,
title,
bro.
So
You got Tua.
Tua's gone.
Yeah.
Well-
Look at the 49er fans keep ganging up on us, Jeremy.
Hey,
I know.
hey, honestly, we shouldn't be doing as good as we are. So, I mean,
This was supposed to be a long.
yeah, this was supposed to be a horrible year, and it just kind of worked out for us. I don't even know how it happened, how it did.
Because San Francisco is a well-run organization.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
the
true,
Dolphins
true,
are
true.
dumpster
I agree.
fire of an organization. They're never going to win. I mean, it starts at the top. Like,
Yeah.
football is a business. If you have any other business that has shitty management, the business is not going to succeed, right? The Niners are run well. They always have been since I can remember.
The Lions have not been since I can. This is probably the best the Lions have ever been run in my lifetime, and our 3-year window's already closed. So
That's because the Ford family got out. I think
yes,
that was the big
precisely. Yes, correct.
Yep.
Speaking of the Lions, I showed as the Lions collector, I showed the required Barry Sanders card. Now I did have a big Calvin Johnson pickup this year. So you are 2 guys that we can collect from the modern era. But this to me, SP Authentic rookie patch auto, Calvin Johnson, 3-color patch. It's got the 10 auto grade you can see on the back, but that's a sharp on-card auto. This to me is probably my favorite Calvin Johnson card that's within my price range. I like his Exquisite probably a bit better, but I like this rookie patch auto probably a bit better even than the National Treasures or something. But this has been a gold card for a while. Did a trade cash to get it, and very, very, very happy I did. And this is one that comes in at my number 4 on the year, probably one of my 2 favorite modern cards in my collection, that and my 06 Prime Patch Barry Sanders auto I got last year.
Sweet card, man.
Cool looking Calvin
Megatron.
Johnson. I'm actually looking for a rookie auto of his as well.
That's a super tough grade too. That's those are thick cards, and
they are. Yes, yeah. I was very happy to get one in there.
Not a strong stock, so it took the dents if you offered them. So that's a good grade. That's a nice card.
Yeah, thanks.
Congrats on that one.
Okay, so number 4. I have exactly 5 cards out, and I'm trying to figure out which ones I'm going to show.
You can show an extra one. These rules are more like guidelines.
I already cheated and showed 5 Jack Johnson cards. So
very true. Very true. Let me go vintage football, since that is running and it seems like everything is like drying up. So I've owned several, and then I was like, I need to get one again. So it's a 1933 Sport Kings Red Grange.
Nice.
And it's a 1, but it's one of those ones you see and you're like, I'll gladly take that. You know what I mean?
You stole that. You stole that.
Beautiful. Oh yeah, beautiful price, beautiful eye appeal, and so
yeah, I remember when you sent me that link, and I'm like thinking, man, if you don't buy that, I'm gonna buy the second
snag
one.
it, right?
All right. Another big boy, since they were stored together, that's where I grabbed them from and kept them in the order just so that I grabbed them. But honestly, didn't think I'd ever get one of these. And the price was good enough and it was clean enough. And it found me at the right time. The opportunity was there. And so I snagged a T2.
Nice.
Speaking of
beautiful card.
One,
that's
very nice.
Beautiful.
Iconic.
Yeah, I love that card.
Standard Piedmont back on that one, but I'm not a purist enough to really care about what's on the back as far as the different backgrounds and things. But happy to get a portrait. I had a bat off shoulder once before, much like the portrait better on this one, the red background.
Yeah, that's stunning. So this one I just picked up from EA Card World, of all places, who they sell mainly modern cards, right?
Yeah, David Adams, yeah.
So they had this on eBay. It was priced pretty high. So I went to their store online. It was priced lower. And then I ended up shooting on the message because this was on eBay forever, seeing if they could come down on the price. And they came down like 10%. Full disclosure, I paid $21.75 out the door for this, and
Steal.
I guess a 4 just sold for $4,000.
Yep, steal.
This one's centered, so which you never see these centered.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in a bucket slab, but whatever. I don't care about that.
Hey, who cares what this slab says?
That's
I couldn't give two craps about that.
Hey, look, Beckett is PSA, so what are you talking about? Any slab is PSA now, so
I'm not even going there.
You can show SGC or Beckett, aka PSA, buddy. So you're good. Don't worry.
I'm digging the
You had
Christmas
to go there,
vacation
didn't you?
reference. All right. Let's stick with 48 leaf short prints. Two of my last three are actually upgrades that I got this year. And this one, this was part of a deal Jeremy and I helped me fund this one. And that was, I had a SGC1 that I actually really liked in the 48 leaf Vito Nomolini. Wasn't looking to upgrade. Went on just screwing around on social media, and this popped up on my vintage football Facebook group. And I saw the price on it. I shot the guy an offer. I think it was, $65 less than he was asking, which was already a pretty solid price for it. He said, sure, let's do it. So I'm like, you know what? Take opportunities when they come. This one, there's a little bit, you can't even see it on the camera. There's like a little bit of something going on right here in this corner. But other than that, man, the
that's
color's
beautiful,
good.
Justin.
Little
Yeah,
off center,
beautiful.
but man, I like this card a lot. I was very, very, very happy that I was able to get it.
What's interesting
really
about the
good pickup.
Nomolini is it seems like there are a lot less Nomolinis than there are Bednarks. But when you look at the stock reports, they're almost identical. But it just doesn't seem like the Nomolinis pop very often at all.
Yeah, the Bednaric's always been a little higher, and it still is. But the Nomolini, even since I got this one, I don't think I would get this one for the same price I got it at now.
No,
I don't think so.
No, I got it for $810 out the door, and I saw
cheap, bro.
Yeah, a 3 just went for something like, what was it? It was almost maybe like 1,200, something like that, not long ago. So,
yeah,
there's some vintage
really good price
cards that are catching fire all of a sudden.
Yeah,
my Nomolini was the first big card I ever bought. Like I got it for less than $1,000, but that was probably in like 2011 or 2012, and I couldn't even fathom spending that kind of money on a card before. But love that card. 10-time All-Pro Leo the Lion. Good pickup.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, good looking card too. I think it's a good looking one.
Okay, number 3. Let's go. Hammering Hank, 1954 tops. Hank Aaron rookie.
Ooh. That's awesome.
Iconic card. Had one years ago, sold it, had to try to get one back, and these are also not rare, but man, shoot, they are pricey now,
Pricey and popular.
iconic card. Yeah, very popular. So
that's kind of like a must-have for baseball, in my opinion. Is Hank
yes,
Aaron.
sir.
A little jealous of that one. I almost bought one of those this week, but I stayed true to and I upgraded my Jim Brown. So be on the lookout for that one. But,
I've seen it already. It's a showstopper.
So we saw the Merino earlier. I picked up a TO this year.
Oh,
yeah, those are so
sweet.
Cool.
That's sick.
And super excited. Jason knew a guy through Instagram that had submitted a bunch of these and got stellar grades across.
Yeah, really good grades.
To include a Steve Young and a TO. And I got this TO a couple weeks after that for a couple $100 less than that guy was trying to sell it off the eBay. I couldn't believe it got listed at the price it was. And I clicked buy it now stupid fast.
Yeah.
One of the most beautiful inserts. I love Atomics.
Yep.
98 are just fantastic. I would love to get to Jerry Rice someday, but that sucker's, at least 1,500 to 2,000 and a decent grade. But got the TO, real excited about that. And like you said before, numbered out of 100 there. And this one is Pop 5 from None Higher.
Yep. So numbered out of 100, but the graded pops are super low on.
Sweet card.
Yeah, that. Like he said, one of the best looking inserts that are out there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, this is the
first ballot this year.
Larry Fitzgerald rookie card with an on-card auto. For those who don't know, I lived in the Phoenix area from 2002 till 2021.
Oh wow! Oh yeah.
So I saw this guy's whole career, class act. The thing with him, though, is he doesn't sign much, and when he does sign, it's usually just a sloppy L. If you go on eBay now and look at Murray Fitzgerald autos, they're terrible. This is what you want with this guy.
You
So
think?
yeah,
Yeah,
Fitzgerald, one of my
all-time
favorite
great
players
too.
of that era, and he has a crazy stat. He has more career tackles than he does drop passes.
Damn.
First
That's
ballot.
that's a stupid,
Yeah, for
crazy
sure.
stat to have.
Yeah, I like that clean auto too. To me, on those autograph cards, I don't even, that one's a 9. That's a great grade, but I'll take a 7 or an 8 on there if it's a 10 auto or just a really crisp auto. I mean, that is very nice. I value that a ton, and I think that looks great.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right. So the number one I'm going to show here next time around is actually an upgrade that I got. So this one at number 2 would be my favorite new pickup of the year, and it is the 1935 National Schickel Newt Rockne. As anybody who watches the channel knows, I've sold Jeremy a couple Schickels this year, but this is one that is not leaving the PC anytime soon. This was the one coming into 2025. This was the number one card that was on my radar that I was realistically going to pick up. Looked at a couple, and then this one, saw it pop up, and it caught my eye. Got a deal done for it, but it's a little bit off center, but the color on it, the picture just looks great. So that was a big deal to me because I think these Schickels are so beautiful when they have, the nice color on there and aren't too faded. So, and that is, that was a big one for me this year, and I would say my top new pickup.
Schickels are drying up.
Crazy.
They are
crazy right now.
Just between, I got this one, I want to say in late June. Between then and now, I mean, I got this one for under $1,000. You're not going to get a Rockne that, in this grade that looks like that for under $1,000 now. So it was, I remember talking to you at the time and saying, I think I might have overpaid. And I think your exact words to me were, today's overpaying might be tomorrow's deals. And I think that with this card was, probably true.
100%.
Are
100%
right now. I mean, I use the term
Yeah.
helium a lot. There's a lot of helium in those cards.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's a beauty.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Number 2 is a card that everybody loves. I had it in a 1. I bought it at a show, I think in 2023 or 2024. Wasn't centered, creases and everything else. And so this year I was like, I have to get a nice example. So I sold off the 1 and I got the Namath
Yeah.
rookie in a 4, and
Very
it's
nice.
also centered. So I mean, like, this is a beautiful card to me. I know he isn't a all-time great, so to speak, but the card is.
Mhm.
I think so. I mean, if you were to choose,
The Mount Rushmore. It's on the Mount Rushmore.
yeah, I mean,
100%.
hands down, it's just a
without question.
beautiful card, So I wanted a nicer, name it. So
But you got it. That is a
Number 2.
beautiful card.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
that's-
Appreciate it, man.
Mount Rushmore
Number
card
2.
right there, vintage football. That's like indisputable.
Yep. Yeah, a 4 is no joke. That's a solid pickup. You got to prioritize pretty well to get a 4 in that one, right?
Yes, sir.
So we'll go ultra modern on this one.
Whoa.
Sweet.
And a true PC card. I had seen this one raw a couple of times because there's a couple of variants at different print runs, and but I only have my threshold for buying raw cards as far as price points is not very high. I just like the sure deal of it in some kind of plastic or something like that, as opposed to a raw one. But I kept losing it at auction, and I was like, you idiot! Like you're not going to keep seeing these things pop up. And I got lucky that a graded one popped up, and I was like, I'm not messing around on this thing. I am winning this. It's going down. Thankfully I won it for a lot less than what my max was, but I was going in on this sucker. But from 2021 National Treasures,
Oh,
personalized,
The people's tight end. Yeah,
I
I
love
love
that.
that card, man.
but an
That
auto
is
George
cool.
Kittle.
Kittle out of 25, the people's tight end.
Yeah, I love that card, man.
That's
The
so cool.
101 just went at auction. The seller was a little shisty and like had the stupid high reserve. So the first time it didn't go after like 2,500, he just immediately relisted. But it sold for like 2,600 raw. The 101.
God,
Wow.
that's crazy.
That's totally unnecessary. But love the out of 25. I'm very happy with this one.
Yeah, the inscription and
That's
everything. Good signature.
Yeah, I love that card.
That's awesome. Speaking of things drying up, I have not seen another 38 Dixie Lid Sammy Baugh since I bought this one. I think there's only 31 in the PSA pop. That being said, I know of a collector that's got a stack of, I think, 10 or 12 of these. So not as rare as the pop before it leads you to believe, but still not very common either. 38 Dixie Lids was primarily baseball and entertainment, but Baugh and Bronco Nagurski are in the set. So this predates Leaf by a decade. I don't know if it's really a rookie card or not, but it's still pretty cool. This came on a tub of Dixie Lid ice cream or Dixie ice cream with a bunch of different. There's a bunch of different ice cream manufacturers on the back of these. So putting a master set together would be a hell of a challenge. So yeah, my 38 Sammy Baugh with the tab on it.
Nice.
Loves the football. Those are good.
All right, so my number one, believe it or not, it's an upgrade. This is still a bit in rough condition, but the one I had before was a CGC Authentic that had a tear in it. So I had an opportunity, I want to say somewhat, maybe like summertime or something. Saw a good price on this one, and it's graded, still a bit rough, but I'm generally okay with where the crease is. Still a good view of Thorpe's face. A little rough around the edges, but the picture itself outside of that crease, like it's a good view of his picture of his face. The bottom where they're playing football is in good focus. So is it in the best condition? No, but it is in fact a 33 Gaudy Jim Thorpe that I am happy with, and just owning that card right now, kind of like we were talking about the other day, just owning it right now is something that I'm very, very happy about. Jim Thorpe, just, one of the most iconic athletes in American history. And I absolutely love this card. Could I upgrade again someday? Possibly, but I'm not actively looking to. I'm just very own appeal to the max right here. I'm just very, very happy to have it in a numerical grade.
Yeah, those things are going crazy right now.
I didn't realize how much they were until I talked to you guys the other day, and you pointed out that ones are going for upwards of 2K or more.
Yeah,
I got that one for 750 just a few months ago.
2,800 was the last one, and it wasn't a pretty one. It was a crease in his head, across his head, and all over the place. And
see, I know this thing's not great looking. This was $750 earlier this year.
Oh yeah, you won't get that.
No.
I think
easily.
I always feel like jackpot when where the downgrade of the points on the value is coming off of corners and edges like that. Like hell yeah, like you're getting everything you want. The meat and potatoes is all there. You got the good card.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree completely.
Where beside the face, good to go.
Yeah, that's my thinking too.
Yeah. So I have two number ones. One of them is actually a Jim Thorpe too, but it's his but it's his 1912 Olympic. I saw this
So cool.
years ago. It's very rare, rarely it ever pops up, and I just love it. And it's in a four. And then I also have speculating. I'm a huge Lakers guy, so Magic Johnson was a really big deal to me, and I've been actually watching like these also. And now, if you try to get everybody signing it, it's over $3,000. So I have the Magic,
Oh,
Larry Bird, Dr. J signed, all three
nice.
of them, and
Wow.
That's so cool,
yeah.
man.
That's cool, man.
And actually, when I bought this, it was actually during the the national. You can sometimes really get some good deals because everybody's at the show.
Yep.
I think I paid like 2,200 and I snagged it,
Yeah.
And now, I mean, shoot, they're selling for like three, four, I mean, sometimes even more. So yeah, so
Yeah.
like that's it.
That's awesome card.
Nice. You owed us some more context on the 1912. That was a postcard from Stockholm at the Olympics.
Oh yeah.
So good to go. I did not save my best for last by any means, but this is not bad. I had my meat and potatoes was in the middle of those couple that cob and the. But as Jason is a bad influence on me from time to time and sends me pictures of things he's looking at. He's for I don't know how many years he kept sending me cards of this insert run. And I finally came around to it. So this is kind of the biggest luxury item in my basketball PC as far as because outside of the traditional rookie lanes, I'm always happy to pick those up and do sets and just get the traditional rookies for whatever set is for that player. But it's another rookie, but it is not named.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, I love
I
that
remember
card.
those, man. That was the hottest thing going back then.
Yep, Shaq.
I
Like
bought one of those
that
for
card was a being
$10
chase
when I was a
card.
kid. I have no clue what happened to it. I wish to God I still had it lying around somewhere.
So, those are my 10. Hopefully, my goal was to show a good round of breadth for that one. So
No, those were
Hold forward.
fantastic. I'm gonna close out with two. I've got this one. We've been talking some Chickle stuff earlier. And, this is one of the Chickles that's gone nuts lately. Is the Dutch Clark. It's really shot up. I think there was a 1.5 that ended. Was it Sunday or Monday for almost $1,400?
It was over that. It was closer to 15. It was like 1487.
Was it really? So
There was
Yeah,
a PSA 3 that
yeah,
went for about 3,000. Like it went for 2,900 or something.
man.
Yeah. So these are drying up. They're getting popular. Get them while you can is all I can say. But mine's a 1. It presents a lot better than a 1. Centering is not good, but the color and the corners on it almost looks like a pack fresh card. So, and for what I paid for it, really happy.
Beautiful copy.
That's very nice.
And then I'm going to close out with the biggest card purchase I've ever made.
Oh, there we go. A drum roll on that then, right?
Nice.
So this
Love
is my
it.
33 long Lou Gehrig.
Nice. That's a
Yeah.
tough.
That's cool.
Yeah, really low pop on this.
Beautiful card.
It got an MC qualifier, which is whatever. The color, registration, everything is so good on it.
Yeah, beautiful
Babe Ruth
card.
got like way out of control price wise. I feel like Gary gets a little overlooked. I might be wrong on that, but it seems like Ruth and DiMaggio take all the hobby dollars for the Yankee players, and Gary kind of, I don't know. He seems I don't want to say underpriced or anything like that because I don't know if it is.
Hmm.
They sell for what they sell for. So, but this card's tough, and I just love it. I've always wanted it, and was able to get it at a really, 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 really fair price.
Yep. Beautiful card, man.
Yeah, I love living through you guys vicariously with the vintage baseball. It actually is a lot of fun. I love seeing vintage baseball. I love, seeing what you guys have. It's really cool stuff.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, I mean,
So, what about 2026? What's on everybody's, lists, radars, whatever you want to call it? I mean, what do you think, Justin? You can like start us off.
So, so more Jack Johnson. I'm already trying to, more Jack Johnson, of course. I'm, like I said, hopefully going to get some good news about another pretty rare Jack Johnson tomorrow. And then there's about 3 or 4. I want, the other Cohen Weenan that I don't have. I want the Turkey Red, the 1911 Boys Friend Jack Johnson, which is a UK release. It's a pretty cool card. Um, so some more Jack Johnson. As far as vintage football, I'd like to get into some of the 1894 Mayos, but those are
Mm,
skyrocketing in value. But I'm cool with them being authentics or something like that. Just
yeah.
I've got to take a little time, and I know that Orlando is watching, and I know he said Don is in the chat too. Those are a couple guys that have talked about that set over time, and got me more interested in looking into it. And I would like to do some stuff with that. Also, too, and this happens, I feel like every year during football season, I hit a real like nostalgia burn for like, mid 90s to like mid 2000s football cards. And I've always loved collecting defensive players. So, and I have been told that maybe reining in my squirrelness a little bit to at least start like miniature projects that I can complete without getting too distracted is a good idea. So I'm trying to get a rookie auto of every defensive player that is either in the Hall of Fame or I think will get into the Hall of Fame from 99 through 2014. So I've already started kind of poking around at that. And it's been, that's why I was reaching out to you, Jason, seeing if you had some guys floating around. But that's been a lot of fun because the defensive players don't cost much and they're guys that, to me are nostalgic players I liked watching. So those are kind of the things on my list. It'll honestly probably be a little bit of a slower collecting year because now we've got, 2 kids in daycare now because we have the 2-month-old's going to start daycare. We, house
Yeah,
stuff.
shoot, that's expensive, man.
But yeah,
I've been there.
but you know what? Like also too, I found the joy in, the good cool thing about these values going up is I've been able to sell a little bit and I plan to do more of that to maybe, fund some of
Yeah,
this kind of like,
offset.
yep, exactly. And Jason, one thing that you said that encouraged me is, you'll really try to find out what you love in your collection. And if you don't love it, move it. And so I've been doing a little bit more of that. But yeah, that's kind of where I think I'm going to go in 2026. I'll probably get distracted and end up somewhere else, but that's what I'm thinking for now.
Yeah. Who's up?
what's Bart
Thank
going
you.
to do? I heard he upgraded to Jim Brown, right?
Yeah. So, like I said before, I sold a bunch of stuff, so I'm trying to recoup. Even though there's certain ones in certain grades, I'm just not going to get back. Even some of your modern stuff, like the '89 score Barry in a 10 or a 90 Emmett in a 10. Those are like $2,000 cards now, so I don't see myself chasing those. But I still need to get some cornerstone cards. So I have like 2 for each basically sport that I'm really trying to get after. And we'll see how many I get this year. And it'll be a ton of them, right? But for baseball, I need a Walter Johnson rookie. I need to both get the Hank Aaron and the Clemente. And then I'd like to upgrade my Nolan Ryan. Football, I still need an Autogram and Namath. But I did really good on consignment recently. Better than I thought, man, because values are going up in certain ways. And like you guys said, sometimes I can just go through the boxes and be like, nah, I don't love this. I like that card, but I don't love it. So maybe I can get something I love. So did that or whatever. And I just found a Jim Brown upgrade that I just couldn't pass up. And I was looking at sets and thinking, all right, where do I want to be? in this set again, I am competitive on the registry a little bit, not as much as I'd like to, because once you hit a sell off, you don't necessarily get to recoup all those points and everything that you had on some of those earlier grades. But no regrets, because I did really well on all those. But I would like to get my first ballot Hall of Fame football set into the top 10, and so that Jim Brown was a massive need in order to do that. And so right now I'm focusing more on football than I thought I was, because I am I do have a good number of football. I'm not gonna lie about that, but so we'll see. I got more upgrades, at least in the near term right now, which is tough. I don't know if you guys have played the upgrade games or whatever, but it's just tough when there's enough cards that you want to get for the first time, to still try to prioritize upgrades and things like that. It's a good time. And then I still got, for basketball, I got a Wilt, a Jordan, and a Kobe that I got to pick up if I want to, call myself a decent basketball PC in my mind, as far as the big ones. And then in hockey, I'd love to get a Gretzky, and I'd love to get an Ovechkin as well. I've never spent that kind of money on hockey again, because it's the fourth sport, so it's going to be a challenge to get there with all the other priorities and things. But right now, it's upgrading football, first ballot Hall of Famers, but just continuing to get build back up some cornerstone cards for PCs, because the small ones are easy, and I love picking those up because I love just continuously being on the hunt. But I keep challenging myself to slow down and prioritize some of the bigger ones.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do sometimes. It took me a little while to slow down and just really focus. Yeah. But now that I'm kind of there, like I'm really focused now that I'm really not buying anything right now. There's nothing out there I really love. I need a 33 Jim Thorpe. That's like the biggest hole in my football collection right now. So that one, I'd love to get a 66 Bobby Orr, maybe a Gretzky, since we're talking hockey.
There's a really red hole rookie out there right now, but I'm afraid to buy Canada cards. Anybody ever have paid that? Sorry to sidetrack the tariff thing. Anybody had to pay one of those yet?
Actually, I just bought a out of the blue. I don't buy a whole bunch of modern, but I bought that Vlad Guerrero numbered out of 160, and I paid I think $1.09 tariff, so it wasn't too bad.
How much? What percentage was the tariff add-on because it came from Canada?
Oh my gosh, not.
I don't think it's a lot.
Pretty low.
I don't think it's
5-10% if it's a big card. On top of your taxes or something, can be pretty significant.
Yeah.
Yep.
More than you thought, and you're like, well, if I was going to spend that much, I might have bought a bigger card sometimes or whatever. I'm scared of looking at hockey right now because of it. Because it doesn't tell you what it is; it just says it's coming.
Yep.
Yeah. Me, 2026, 2025 has been a year of, consolidation. I've spoke about it many times, and that's how I got a whole bunch of this, this more expensive stuff. 2026, I'm coming into 2026 happy where I'm at. But the huge hole is a Ruth. And it's just, man, if I'm really being honest, I had an opportunity probably a week ago to get a E121 Ruth for 3,500. It was authentic, altered because of a little bit of like the paper loss. In hindsight, I probably should have snagged that, because if you go on eBay right now and if you try to get a Ruth Caramel in any grade, any slab, you're looking at 6, 7, 8,000. So 2026 is probably a very slow year. I want a Ruth. I wanted a Ruth Auto also, but I recently checked the prices with that. I thought they were still around 5, maybe 6,000. Now they're anywhere from probably 10 to 20. So I'm probably priced out of the auto, but I will try to get a Ruth card. And I don't want the Gaudis. I like them, but I want a prime 1920s Ruth. So like that's it probably.
I've got to jump off. I've got to get on baby duty,
Yeah,
unfortunately. Thanks for having me on, Jeremy. Good talking to you guys as
of course.
always. Amazing cards,
Yep.
and hope you guys all have a Merry Christmas and everybody in the chat too.
Cheers, man.
Yep. All right, Justin.
Take care,
See you,
boys.
Justin. Merry Christmas.
Yeah. You take care, man. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, the Ruth.
There we go. We
You
got
know,
the
we
three
were
talking
talking
heads
about
now.
there, Jason.
Yeah. I
Man.
mean, honestly, up to and once again, I've spent a lot this.
We lose him.
I lost sound. I don't know what's going on.
I think we
You
lost.
good over there, Jeremy? You lose the signal?
Yeah, we lost.
Yeah. But anyway, I mean, like I said, I've spent a lot on like a 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. But that's I mean, because I sold a lot. And Ruth, I'm estimating if I'm lucky, will be probably six, maybe eight. And by far that is definitely I mean, I'm gonna be the most I've ever spent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you start talking about that kind of money, it really hits you. Like, damn, do I really want to go down this hole? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh,
But what I'm really trying to do is I'm trying to look at it as on a normal year, if you buy a whole bunch of cards, what does that add up to? So like I said, if I only get like the Ruth, I mean, shoot, that'll be a like a good year for because, like I said, I can genuinely say I'm happy where I'm at. You know, I mean,
yeah,
I sold some, I mean, like some cards I really liked, but I got a whole bunch of stuff that I really love, and I don't have a whole bunch. I'm probably at probably 270 280 slabs, but I love everything that I have. So just like the only hole I really need is a roof. You know what I mean?
yep,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Hey, Bart, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm good now.
Cool.
What happened there?
No, I totally get it with the Ruth. Like, the Thorpe isn't at the level of a Babe Ruth card, a caramel, but I understand the whole having a hole in the collection because not having that Thorpe, it's starting to piss me off some days, you know, especially
to
when
hear
they go for the
Justin,
prices they're going for. It's like,
to hear
man,
Justin paying 700 for an SGC1, it's like shit, that's like a clearance bin deal.
yeah,
That's a deal compared to what the prices are now. Yeah, I mean, he got a heck of a deal. And unfortunately, Jeremy, you'll probably spend well over 2,000, especially if you want something
Yep.
half halfway kind of decent. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I mean,
I mean,
when we get into
so
those price points, I know it's hard to be picky, but I'm still going to be picky. There's certain things I'm
oh
not
yeah,
gonna want. Like
Yeah,
that one that sold the other night. It had a crease going vertically right through the middle of it, all the way down,
yeah, it was
and
ugly.
then one going across.
Exactly. It
I'm
was
not going to
ugly.
like that for $2,000 or whatever it sold for, 2,800.
2,800,
Yeah,
28. So after taxes and
yeah,
everything,
3 grand.
yeah, shoot, 3 grand. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
for
See,
three
and
grand, it can't look like that.
yeah, see, and just And that's honestly how I spent 2025 and at the end of 2024. Because in 2024, I bought a like the satchel, like the Jackie, like the Cobb. But I went into it saying if I have one card as a representation of Jackie or Cobb or whoever, which one is it? And I want something that when I see it, I'm happy. So that's honestly how I've really tried to transition rather than having a whole bunch of Jackies or like the lower end Jackies. I wanted the Jackie that I wanted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even on Ruth, I could probably get a cheaper Ruth, but I want a Ruth that when I see it, it's just like, you know what I mean? Like you're excited to see it, and uh, you know what I mean? I mean,
I don't.
even if it
I don't
is,
agree on the Jackies though. I can't bring myself to sell any of my Jackie Robinsons. So I don't
yeah,
something
but
about his
honestly,
smile and his face
Bard,
cards. I struggle to pare those down.
yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it. Yeah, I get it. You know, I mean, I sold some stuff that I really liked, but like I said, if you're spending, I mean, especially baseball, it's stupid prices. So, you know, to try to be able to buy that stuff, sometimes, you know, like you have to kind of sell some stuff, and that's
It gets
what
real
I
frustrating
did.
with baseball because I like to do those sets too and collect them, but there's just so many cards that just will be a hole in the sets, and it isn't even
Yeah,
all the pre-war stuff like that in Ruth. Even post-war sets, it's not just the mantle and the maze is. I'm close, but it's still a tough one to swallow as far as the price point. But the mantle is it's like 11, 12K for a one, but you have like the 52 Eddie that is just ridiculous. There's a couple
yeah,
of post-war ones of guys that you wouldn't even think of as much Hoyt Wilhelm in 52 tops, right? And that are just like, oh,
And that
how am I going to keep
that card is
trudging along in this?
ugly. Like that Wilhelm image is terrible too.
Yeah,
yeah. And honestly, I mean, like I've said this numerous times, everybody talks about the pre-COVID, but I mean, even, I mean, shoot, 2 years ago type stuff. Like I can specifically remember, I mean, I mean, shoot, like the Bowman Mace rookie in a one was about maybe 1,200. Mano used to be about probably 2,500 because everybody wanted I mean, like the tops.
Yep.
And so the Bowman rookies were actually highly undervalued. And all the time I'm like, man, I should have just like, you know what I mean? $1,200 today. I think you would like,
yeah,
I
for sure.
but
remember as a kid, like Bowman was not very well thought of when I was a kid. Like Bowman was kind of treated like almost like an unlicensed card in a way, in terms of
yeah,
popularity, and that's changed obviously. I still think I don't know. Compared to the 52 tops, those 51 Bowmans are there's
yeah,
something wrong there, in my opinion.
yeah. I agree. I agree.
But it is
But the
what it is,
prices
right?
are
The market dictates the price. So
yeah,
I just
yeah.
try to
So
find. It's hard to find like deals in vintage, but you can kind of find like niches, so to speak, or overlooked things. There's a lot. There's some overlooked pre-war football. There's not a lot of it out there, but
You know,
there's some.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I probably shouldn't bring this up. And this is a conversation I've had with Jeremy since he's a worldwide hobby influencer now, and we don't want to cause trends here. But if you really, uh, I I mean, like if you try to look at like the baseball versus like the football, and I mean autographs, I mean cards and everything. I mean, I get it, but I kind of don't get it because it's such a huge gap. Like honestly, if you try to get like the Cobb autograph, right? Now, even in a check, you're looking at probably like what, maybe 16 hundred dollars. Bronco Nagurski, which is one of like the big guys. I mean, shoot, his autographs are like what, $100?
125
Well,
bucks you can get a
probably
Nagurski. Yeah.
exactly. And I'm not saying it should be thousands, but I think that there's a huge
Yeah.
price gap that over time is going to slowly close. It won't ever really catch up, but it'll slowly go up. You know what I mean? So,
It
you
could.
know, yeah.
There's
Yeah.
room for it to grow. I mean,
Oh
shit,
yeah,
they're so cheap.
for
They can't really
sure.
go down.
Even double is still cheap, honestly.
Get a Sammy Baugh auto for $50. You know, I know he
Yeah.
signed a lot,
Wow.
but
Mm,
autogram $50. Yes,
yeah.
they signed a ton, but still, some of the
Oh
all-time
yeah, shoot. So did DiMaggio, so did
so did
Mano, and
Mantle.
all those guys did, and it's a huge gap there. So yeah, over time, I think it'll slowly, slowly go up. You know what I mean?
I'm good with that gap as long as I'm still buying. Once I have it all, then we can close that gap a little bit.
Right? Get some appreciation on the cards that you bought, right? And
But you can see
that's
that gap
kind of
close in those early days, right? Those 33 Thorpes and things like that. Those gaps are closing.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
But
that
that's
that card is. I don't know what the hell happened in the last 2 months, but
yeah,
man, what did that was it a PSA 3 that sold for like $7,500 last month?
yeah. Hindsight, that might have been a good deal looking at the PSA one that sold for basically three. And and it was, I mean, ugly. And and it's like you said, Bart, I mean, it's like if you have like the cars, it's like, yes, I did good. But if you're still trying to get this stuff, it can be
That's how
kind
I
of,
baseball stuff. Yeah. Thankfully, when
yeah.
the big sell off, I was just like, I can't get rid of some of these football. Like this is my collecting identity. I just can't walk away from it right now. Like I can't call myself the collector that I am. And so those old ones, I kept them for football, and thank goodness, because man, those Nagurskis and the Thorpes are just crazy now.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah.
think the deal is probably the Red Grange. To me, I get why Jim Thorpe's popular. I get all that, but that Red Grange to me is the better card. That's just
Yeah.
an opinion, and it sells for a bit less.
I'd
Well,
say
I mean,
a good pose and everything. It's a better looking card for sure.
Yeah,
yeah. Well, I bought mine for like I think 1600, and the last one I saw, it was a PSA one, and it was ugly. I mean, creases all over, and asking price was like what, like 21, 2200.
yeah. I think
So
it's down to 1,900 now, but
yeah.
factor in fees and everything, you're over 2K.
Yeah, and honestly, shoot, Grange was hovering around the 800 to 1200 range for years. For
Yeah, I paid I
years.
think 1,100 for mine last year, and my
Yeah.
one
So
looks
see,
just like yours. It's
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. Happy, happy to take it in a
Yep.
one. Yeah, I agree. I agree. So like I think all of them are slowly going up to about probably 2000. Obviously, shoot, Jim Thorpe now, even an ugly one is roughly 3000. And yeah. So now it's, yeah. And honestly, I mean, shoot, obviously, shoot, Bronco is going to keep going up. and I mean, shoot, Dutch is going up, and then like everything, when it gets attainable, what is the next best thing? Leafs
Oh, the 8 leaf.
or the Bowmans, and you know what I mean? It'll slowly kind of trickle down. So
Leaf to me is
yeah,
like it's like untapped oil, man. You got land and that's just oil on your land. Pretty
yeah,
very low population, condition sensitive, all that. They're beautiful
yeah,
cards and
yeah.
they're
I will
cheap.
say this though. I think that they are slowly going up. Obviously the Nomalini's up, and also like the Chuck. But I saw a Sammy Baugh and I think a PSA 6 sold recently, and it was pretty expensive. And those used to be, even in a six, you're looking about 6 or 700, maybe a little bit more. Now
Sixes,
they're getting up there to 12 to like 1400. So they're slowly going up, I think,
Yeah,
especially centered.
once you get over that PSA 4 grade on the ball, the prices really jump. They really do.
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
at sixes and above for sure across all 48 leaves. You got to start considering those high end, and
Yep.
fives and
Yeah.
up. Sixes is you're getting up there as far as grades and where you can find those conditions. I think part of football too is just watching because I'm an eBay fiend and an auction fiend and everything else. People are holding their cards. They're
Oh
no
yeah.
as often as they used to. Even just ones that are not the mainstream rookies and stuff like that. Even those second and third tier guys, they just don't come up like you would. So there's a lot of people that are like us collecting and then holding it. There's some goodness to it, but if you still haven't gotten that card yet, your patience has got to be different, right? And even worse, because the ones they do come up, if it's just to buy it now at egregious price, it's like, well, that ain't going to do it. I try to. The only way you get most good deals nowadays is if you just play the auction game, and then you got a decent chance. But it seems like nobody's willing to either take a loss or even worse, nobody's willing to not yield less than like a 25% increase on their return by
Right.
when they. So then it's just they put these bins up at crazy prices, and you either get it and then you bring up all of the comps, or you
Yep.
suck it up and wait a couple of years to see the auction one.
Yeah, honestly, especially shoot the pre-board comps are out the window, even in auctions. Like whatever the most recent comp was, if you want to get it, you might have to pay double, just how it's kind of trending. So like, uh, yeah, it's yeah, shoot, there's a lot of changes. So
Yeah. So it's like it's creating a double rarity basically, because you have the rarity of the population itself, which isn't high, and then you have the rarity of availability, and it's
Bingo.
itself
Yep.
in a lot of these cards.
Yeah, like I was
yeah,
mentioning earlier, when Justin was on about the Normalini, they don't pop, and I think people are holding those. They're short prints, they're tough to find, and yeah, you
Yeah,
kinda gotta jump on them when you can sometimes,
I think
and comps be damned.
the Nomalini specifically, I have a six in that one that I bought. I like 2011, 2012, something, and I think I've only seen 3 sevens ever come up. There's like 2 8s out there, but I've only seen sevens. But that's out of there's 20, about 20. I think it's 19 actually. Like in the PSA side of things, I don't know the SGC, but out of 19 in the last 15 years, only maybe 3 of them have showed up. Man, I got obliterated in those auctions because man, I went super strong and I didn't even come close on them
Yeah.
sevens. Wow. And these are
yeah,
a decade ago they went wild. I can only imagine now, but yeah, they just
yeah,
don't come up much.
yeah. I agree because honestly, I kind of use the eBay app as a gauge, and I can remember for years, if you typed in Grange, if you typed in Nomalini, you'd see at least maybe three or like four options. If you type it in now, you might not see any, or maybe one, maybe one.
Maybe one.
And like Bart said, it's overpriced, inflated, and the guy's like, if you want it, you're gonna have to earn it. You know what I mean? And he holds like I mean, he's got it, you don't. So it's like,
Exactly.
yeah. So that's like a true gauge of what is happening. If it isn't on eBay, I mean, shoot, the biggest marketplace. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
Orlando makes a good point. He'll pay over comp for nicer cars. I will too. Like, if
Yeah,
it's great, I don't care about the comp.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
And you're talking about auctions and eBay. I think I was in that REA auction for those Bread for Health cards. I got my ass kicked in that auction, man. So the price is reset, and it's a 20-minute clock, and the extended bidding. I was up to almost 2 in the morning, going back and forth. It was just, and then I got uncomfortable. Like, I don't love this at this price anymore, and I just bailed.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
see,
like
I
I
loved it
said,
at like 1,200. I didn't love it at 2,000. You know what I mean?
yeah, like I
And they're
said
rare.
though,
They're super rare, but
yeah. But I mean, like I said, you're trying to get it, so you're like frustrated and you're trying to fight for it. And I had the ones I wanted. I'm on the other side, like I did pretty good buying it years ago. You know what I mean? So I think like the guys who have them are watching, and like Bart said, they're not selling. They're like, well, hell, there isn't any out there. I'm up whatever, shoot, 300% now, and it's only going to get more rare. I'm gonna sit on them. So
so they probably have a price in mind, and if they hit it, they're like, all right,
yeah,
But even then, right? They're sitting in collections. Like,
yeah,
they're not from a one card standpoint anyway. They're like, all right, the whole market's got to come up, and then maybe I'll bring all these things to market, not just this one card or whatever. But you bring up a good point. There's, because we're collectors, right? Not just straight investors or whatever. It's, we want the card, but all of a sudden, there's the thrill of the hunt, and part of that enjoyment is like, yeah, I found it at the deal I wanted to as well, or at a price point I was happy with or content with at least, or it's so rare I'm okay with what I paid a little bit extra for because I know it was for the greater good. But you see some prices go up, or madness at auctions, or you already see the auction house price at a certain point and you haven't even paid the premium on top of it yet or anything. You're like, I don't love this thing that much anymore. Like, yeah, there's a real piece of what it is to be a collector in that, right? Because then you don't want to pay so much that you just have a little bit of disdain for the card when it shows up in the mail.
exactly. That's what I went through a few weeks ago. I wanted at least one of those health cards, but like I mentioned, I didn't love it where the price was, and then you have to tack on 23% buyer premium. I really didn't like it when I did the math on that. So, hey, I I bailed. Like, congratulations, whoever gets this. I don't want it.
Yeah, I
So I ended up using that money, and I got my Chuck Bednarik, basically, is what happened.
I stay away from those the auction houses at large, especially the ones with the buyer's premium, because they've always just the premium itself. That's not when PWCC, they had all kinds of problems, obviously, but when they started tacking on these bigger premiums and stuff, I just was like, I'm not on board, because you're thinking you're bidding one thing, and then all of a sudden it's basically making you bid something that you weren't
yeah,
even.
20%.
And
Yeah.
then my father was a numismatist, a coin guy, and Heritage is massive for the coins. And he,
Hold on, guys.
even at a young age, it was a commonality for the auction houses. They can buy the stuff. Uh, they can bid on it and buy it themselves, and then they also don't owe anybody the premium now. And so a lot of times you're bidding against the auction house and whether they think the thing is an investment. So you almost just can't get deals in that regard when you're doing that. So I really try to stay away from those. Thankfully, I haven't been hunting for anything so rare. If I start looking for rare pieces, I figure out what my password was from a year or two ago. I log into that auction house and I check it out, but I usually stay away. Thankfully, but that one always just leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the only reason was I was even in that one was because these bred for house rarely hit, and somebody was selling a pretty close to the whole set of them, and there was a tittle, excuse me, a Wiley tittle that I wanted with a Sammy Bob, and
Nice.
yeah, I thought I'd get one, but it is what it is, you know. I'm not immune to. I don't get mad when I lose auctions. Really,
No,
it is what it is. Like,
live to purchase another day, right? There'll always be
yeah,
another
but
card tomorrow.
the minute I get mad, that's the minute where I'm probably not enjoying it like I should be anyway. You know,
Yeah.
so that's kind of how I look at it.
And then you just you take that loss and then you do some retail therapy right afterwards, right?
I kind of did, yeah, but it worked out. You know, I got a nice 48 inch generic that I did for my Hall of Fame run, so it worked out.
Yeah, you can't take those. You just got to take those on the chin as opposed to taking them too close to the heart. Because the real way to have a great and fantastic collection and thorough collection is to just be in the game that long. It isn't some massive level of aggression where you just be all in on auctions and stuff like that. That's not the way. Those people
Correct.
don't even survive in the hobby, right? We see them come and go with the quickness, but those we could be patient enough. Well, we always want to have it better. We'll take the time every once in a while. Like, damn, that is a pretty good collection sitting there. And that's just because of the long game.
Yeah, you got to play the long game with it.
Yeah.
I
Should we
mean,
bring up?
it takes a long time to put stuff together. You know, I've done a lot of selling to acquire what I've acquired.
Yep.
It's just part of it.
Yep.
You know, it took me a long time to acquire the cards that I sold, but you need to get to me and Jason have talked. We've talked about this before. You got to get the big ones out of the way if you can. The other stuff you can 95% of what I sold I could get right now and replace it. So
I think a whole bunch of other people are also trying to do the same thing though, like the consolidation thing. It's really becoming a normal. So now, like shoot, Jeremy tells me all the time, 1960s and 70s for the most part is everywhere.
everywhere.
But if you're trying to get the Granges, if you're trying to get the Thorpes, or like
Chickle.
yeah, all that stuff's all gone. So yeah,
Chickles are tough. That's it's funny though. They seem to come in waves. Like you won't see a Dutch Clark or a Clark Hinkle for weeks, if not months, and it seems like two or three will hit within 2 or 3 week period, and then it dries up again. So I
yeah,
don't know. That's just kind of what I see anyway.
yeah. Mhm. Did you want to bring up any controversial topics, Jeremy?
Come
There's
on,
tons of
man.
them out there right now.
I'm not talking about this grading shit. I don't.
Well, not even like the grading stuff, like even like the collections being bought and people just, I mean, kind of getting ripped off and stuff. Like there's,
Oh, that one.
yeah,
You know, he or somebody on his team was replying to everybody with the same comment that the PSA
yeah,
9s were not part of the deal. They were just an example.
yeah, but still. Um,
Reload.
I would like to say something as a collector, as a
Do it.
husband, as a dad. I think it's our responsibility to even though our wives don't care and everything else, I think it's almost our responsibility to let them know how to look up the values, whether it's on either card ladder, VCP, whatever, so they have a general knowledge of what you have. Because what I see a lot of times on YouTube is just like these guys will just, and it's really sad how they'll like act like they're helping a spouse who lost their husband and just rip them off, you know. And unfortunately, like the wife doesn't know. So if you say $40,000, that sounds awesome, but she doesn't know if he spent 70,000 and it's worth 100,000. So I think all of us have to try to keep them somewhat up to date. I definitely try to tell my wife all the time, like, hey, I mean, some of the cards are soaring. So, and also, I would hope if anything happened, she knows Bart, or I mean, like the name of Bart and Jeremy.
Yeah.
uh so if she had to reach out uh and just say try to get some
Coming
kind
in
of
and buying
guidance
all
or
your stuff
something.
wholesale.
Try to be like, it's trash, 20,000.
49 sats. I'll give you $50 for it. No problem. Okay.
Try
So
to be
yeah,
like, I'll drive down to, I'll come pick it all up, help you out.
that
But
video
just
we're talking about, it wasn't just the price that was offered. That video was just really poor taste. I mean, there was a freaking testimonial at the end of it from this widow. It was just, it
yeah,
wasn't a good look in my opinion, but to each their own. But
yeah, I agree.
I can't say I had the patience to watch all of it or anything, but I saw enough comments of the parameters of it and things like that. And I've seen them, and it's just, if you're looking to get deals and you're striking deals, then just make that the point, right? But
Yeah,
don't go in buying people's stuff acting like you're a humanitarian out here. Uh, you
I
know,
agree
exactly.
completely.
out here for the greater good of society by getting deals on these cards. I like to play devil's advocate, so I will say though, if we say we got to keep our spouses and families informed or whatever. I've seen a number of shows where the person that collected themselves still completely just hit the lazy button and had somebody come in and buy all this stuff where you, like, if it's already graded liquid stuff, you can just box it up or drive it to the consignment place or whatever,
Exactly.
Yeah.
and make a killing off of it just the same.
Yes.
It doesn't, 'cause that part. I mean, because those guys, what is chasing cardboard or whatever. Those are some good folks usually involved in that. And,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
you know, the emails and stuff that they exchange, and then to create the road trip that takes them down to wherever you are, is still multiple weeks, if not months, for that start to finish. Well, that is no different than you packaging it up and shipping it to consignment, it coming at auction, then them collecting the money and everything, and then sending it to you. That's still a decent window of time. It's not immediate. So I don't understand why, people just completely go oblivious to their other options there.
Yeah.
So I can't say all it's just a bunch of uninformed widows and spouses when I've seen the collector themselves be uninformed and not be as smart as they can be with their collections and stuff too. And then at some point, like, the guys just sitting in there on piles of 1950s raw baseball and stuff like that. It's like, at no point did you think you should like protect that investment a little bit more at some point, slab it up or
Yeah.
right. Um, that some of those things are just wild to me. So I can't expect too much out of the spouses if some of the collectors are still not getting as informed as they should either.
Yeah, I agree. But I will say this, it wasn't Chasing Cardboard. I watch like their
Oh, I know it.
content.
No, it was.
Yeah, yeah, but just I mean, so like other people, shoot, don't assume that. I watch like their content, and they seem like really good guys. And a lot of the stuff they buy is work. And there is a difference if your collection is liquid. If it's Mantle, Mays, Jordan, Kobe, I mean, like easy to sell stuff is a huge difference than like what I see on Chasing Cardboard,
Yeah.
where it's like maybe 70 slabs and like boxes and boxes of stuff that's hard to sell, and it takes time. I mean, like the video that I was talking about, I mean, it was like quality stuff,
Yeah,
and
liquid.
yeah. And so, in a situation like that, and just like you said, Bart, I think what irritated me is, like a long time ago, what's his name? Mr. Mint. He was a businessman. He didn't he didn't give a damn. You knew what you were getting. He was going to try to get the cheapest price. So if you chose working with him, you can't say nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you knew what you were getting into.
Yeah.
But like Jeremy said, like the video that we're talking about, the guy is acting like he's the greatest guy on earth, and I'm
In that
helping
video, what
her.
in that video, how did the husband pass away or whatever? How did he?
He didn't say.
Oh, that,
He didn't say,
I don't know
but
if it tells me I got terminal or like it's going down within a year or two. Like I am hitting everything to market quick, fast, hurry on behalf.
you know, I
Like I'm front loading that, not wait until the end and surprise. Oh, I didn't get it. I didn't mail it out or whatever.
Right.
oh yeah, and honestly, one of the reasons why I did what I did is, obviously, I wanted some of the larger cards, but also watching Chasing Cardboard, and you see these guys who have thousands and thousands of cards. A bunch of them are cheap, cheap cards. So, you know, if something happened, I don't want to try to put that on, uh, I mean, like the spouse, and then I mean, like these guys will show up and be like, "Well, that's a lot of work. I can't sell that." I slimmed down like the collection at a point that everything is quality, it's liquid, and it's easy to sell. So they
Yeah.
can't try to give that thing. But I've also, like you said, Bart, I told my wife, "Look, you send it to an auction house. Have somebody show up, you have a pretty good idea, and send it to auction. It'll probably cost you 20 to 25%, but it's auction, so people are going to be going after it. So, try to maximize what you get. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like there's a lot of people out there that try to portray this image, and to me, that isn't really cool.
No.
I respect people. Excuse it, my language. If you're an asshole, be an asshole 24/7. I respect that. Fine. You don't care. You're cutthroat. I respect that. You
Yeah,
are who you are. But if you try to be something else in public and you aren't that, I can't really uh I mean, like that isn't really cool. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So,
Yeah, I get
yeah.
that. If those collections when they buy them, if it's you know, like 1,000 of those, oh crap, what are they, Funkos or something like
Oh
that, and
my gosh. Yeah.
patch autos and just magnetics. I get it. Then that there's going to be loads of work or something like that. Um,
Exactly. I
I
agree.
all game though, but and that's why I really am like restrictive to myself on buying raw stuff, just because like there are multiple levels I would need to make this a liquid thing if I ever needed to purge this. And now it's only one card here, but if I buy 2 of those a year, well, in a couple of years I start got a pile of these things, right?
Right.
Always tried to do that, but even in that, to that same vein, and I think Jason, you kind of said it, like you pare down a little bit because of these types of things. I hit like 5 slabs. It wasn't that long ago, but I'm paring down. I think I'm down into like 3,500, 3,400. I'm still trying to go just for these types of reasons. Like it's because even if, we have to be smart about our own investment too. If I got 1,500 Jerry Rice slabs, like I can't bring those all to market at one time. Otherwise, I'm competing against myself, and the bidders can only buy at the same time. So you got to be
Yeah, I agree.
hard about that stuff. That's just a challenge to all of us as collectors of like, hey, you getting buried with all these things? Kids are all in on the collecting, and you're willing to just pass, that level of value straight up to them within the cards, and you're going to have to do something else, and you better have a plan in these big collections, right? And we don't think they're big, but after a couple of years, they start to pile up pretty big.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I was doing and I really enjoy doing this, putting player runs together. But
Yeah, me too.
man, those slabs add up. It's you don't think it does, but in a couple of years, I accumulated cards I liked, didn't love, and I had a lot of those.
Remember those the early days when PSA would send you your cards back in a little brown box about yay big, and I think it held 22 slabs. Remember those?
Mm-hmm.
This would have been, let's see, I lived in Arkansas at the time, so somewhere between 15 and 17. I had a closet, and half of the closet, so a 3-foot wide door and a solid wall, 4 feet high and like 2 deep of those. I had Troy Aikman, Emmett Smith, and it was the runs of everybody. I mean, I had everybody 90s runs. I was the number one guy in like multiple players. They weren't even my PC guys. I was just doing that so much. I loved busting tops and sentiment and subbing in it. And I just a kid would open the closet and the boxes wanted to come falling out. This can't smart, right? Like it's a cool idea. It's cool to look at that page in the PSA registry or something, but like I don't. This doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, I agree.
streamline
Yeah,
it.
It makes sense for some people, but for me, I pivoted, just
Yeah.
yeah,
That's the most fun in the hobby though, is when you get to pivot. You see the pivot that needs to happen. You address the situation, and then you make that pivot. Like there's an energy to it as
yeah,
in a collector or whatever. It keeps it fun.
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think so too. I think you know, I think in the hobby, like there's a huge emphasis on being a pure collector, and I get that. I am too, but at a certain level of just money value, I'm a collector, but you got to be smart too, and you
Mhm.
have to treat it as a investment. And just because I'm slimming down, selling stuff, doesn't mean I'm not a true collector. But if you do slim down, if you do sell, you'll see a huge change. Like when I sold, I mean, because I did like the player runs also. A lot of that stuff, I'm getting low ball bids, low ball offers. You
That's
sometimes even lose money. But if you're buying the bigger stuff, you, at minimum, you're breaking even. And in a lot of cases, I mean, you're in the black rather than like the red. So, I like cheap stuff too. I mean, shoot, some of the stuff that I kept. I mean, not everything is thousands of dollars, but at a certain point, it's like, I mean, like you have to make smarter decisions also. And so that's what I try to do. And I think a lot of people just have to try to look at it like that rather than just say, well, I am a collector and I don't care like about the values. If you got $100,000 of cards, I mean, that's a lot of money to me. And
You
at that
better
point,
care.
Yeah,
yeah, like you
I think
should be thinking,
the people that say like, "Oh, I'm a collector" or whatever, like, well, one, you either got nothing and you're just buying like old boxes of score football or something, and it's all worthless. That's probably not the
yeah,
case. Nobody's
yeah,
being completely stupid about good stuff. So then the only real way to be like, "Oh, I'm a true collector," is to just be so wealthy that the purchase doesn't matter, right? And that doesn't make sense.
yeah.
If
What
you're
what's
actually,
what's the definition of a true collector?
I don't know, but
A
they'll
lot of people throw
try
that label around though.
or they'll never sell, and that's where people try to use those terms or whatever. And it's just like, well,
Yeah,
if you're trying to get real stuff, you, you'd be an absolute idiot not to preserve it, care for it, treat it appropriately based on
Yeah,
that you have in it. And then if you're just a normal human and aren't just sitting in a silo by yourself, right, then you have to worry about the people around you and who else you provide for, especially if we're all dudes here, right? Like, I can't
yeah,
be sitting with this kind of value and just think of it arbitrarily. And it has to matter. It has to be able to, like I said, a couple of years ago I had to buy a house, and 20% of a massive house was a lot of money that I needed to
yeah.
find, right? And so the cards did
yeah,
apply. Thankfully, after that, my wife will never bug me about cards and whether they're worth something or anything like that too. But you have to have a plan, right? Like, you know if we
Well,
all
the
just
thing with me
sell it,
was I
doesn't
did
make
a
sense.
lot of thinking about, I want stuff that if I have to sell it, I can sell it. Some of the stuff I've had on eBay for weeks, it's nobody wants it. I think it's cool, but the stuff I'm buying with the stuff that I'm selling, I could sell it now, like immediately. You
yeah.
know,
Quick,
I mean,
liquid.
shit, life happens. Something could happen, and I don't want to burden my family with garbage.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
That's one of the perks to me about collecting multiple sports, is if I ever got pressed to make certain decisions or whatever, I could purge a certain sport potentially
Right.
and
Yeah,
still stay in my lane with other sports, or if it had to just go down to football or something.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what I love about baseball. I am a baseball fan. I go to the games and things like that, but it's not my number one. But there's a lot of value in that, so it's like, well, I can collect here. I can put value and investment in this, and there is nothing more liquid than these baseball cards. These are straight commodities,
oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so if I
Yeah,
had
assets.
something else went awry, or my other, because hopefully we're not just putting all of our available revenue into these cards. It's a little bit closer to investment or disposable income or something like that. But if I had
Yeah.
to, I could purge this crap ton of baseball, and with the quickness you can get there, and it wouldn't have the same attachment as some of the football ones, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Love that about the baseball cards.
See, Orlando's selling too. I mean, I think, like you mentioned, there are a lot of people consolidating,
Yeah.
and that's probably the reason why these prices are going nuts. People are
Yeah,
consolidating. They got the money. They want their Grail card, or they want their whatever they call it.
yeah. Makes you wonder what's going to happen to the prices of everything else. Because if everybody's selling a Ricky Henderson rookie at the same time, it's
Well,
it's it's going to kind of flood the market in a way. You know what
we're
I mean?
if the dudes that are sitting on a stream at 10 o'clock Eastern on a Saturday night, we're pretty well established collectors and things like that, right? So we will be doing the same types of things as far as like consolidating, picking up the higher end.
Yeah,
Still a lot of new collectors coming to market. We've seen that over the last 5 or 6 years because It's a legitimate asset class, and people are still getting started in it. So when we purge that
Yeah.
low end Ricky Henderson, there's a lot of people still doing that, especially if you can't get into other asset classes, whether it's because the stock is $1,000 a share or something, or if it's just, hey, I'm not buying a new house right now or anything, so I don't need to throw a ton of money at that. Then cards are perfect. So we're still seeing a fair number of people jump in the market. So because I did a bunch
Yeah.
of baseball included in this last consignment, and they all, for the most part, did very, very well. Even like random stickers of football players from the 80s that I didn't think would be great did pretty solid. So those lower
Really?
mid still doing good.
Okay, good. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. It just seems. I was telling you, Jason, that if I want a 1976 Walter Payton, there's probably 100 of them on eBay right now, and
They're going up.
that's the same for 70s across the board. There's a ton of it.
Yeah.
I mean, in theory, prices drop on all that, right? If everybody's trying to sell it, prices come down because there's more supply than demand. But
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, of course, if it's a super duper high grade nines, maybe eights, maybe sevens, everything under that is probably
yeah, like
dropping,
that, that's a great
especially
point. Like
auctions,
if and when I get
especially
back to
auctions.
rebuying my stuff from the 70s, it's going to be high grade because there is demand for
Yep.
eights, nines, tens, obviously, but eights and nines sell really, really well in the 70s.
Yeah. See, and that's my problem. I mean, because I sold some stuff that I would want to maybe try to buy back. But then it's like I like it, I kind of miss it, but do I mean, do I need it? You know what I mean? And that's where I am. I mean, like the stuff that I kept is the stuff that I really, really, really care about. So I'm kind of like, why try to buy back stuff that you know what I mean?
I mean, you got
I mean,
right. Like if you sell it and you don't feel the enough remorse or regret or whatever to go pick it back up again, you got your answer. That's
yeah.
Bingo.
why I showed that Jackie. I sold it and I regretted.
Oh
Now
yeah.
for years, every day I was thinking about that damn 49 Jackie because I remember on
Yeah.
and buy it now and it was just talking to me and it was just like I remember like at 20 minutes later because it was a lot of money for a card. I had still
Oh
hadn't
yeah.
thresholds for spending that money much. I was at work in the restroom in the stall, like trying to pull it up. Like that was the only I could up. Still there. I got to do it. I bought it. I remember vividly
Oh
the
yeah. Because you
what I
showed it to me.
buy that thing.
Yeah, you
You know,
showed it to me.
regrets when I sell it. Over eightfold within 12 months. But I want that 49 Jackie back, and so if it doesn't tell you
Yeah.
that, then yeah, you could keep it moving, pivot, and don't look back. But some
Oh
of them
yeah.
go to circle back.
Yeah.
To,
Yeah. Exactly. I
to
agree.
answer
I
Orlando's
agree completely.
comment, I am not selling that Gehrig. That is my
Yeah.
No,
If he does,
that's
I
great.
mean, one of us will buy it. So it's in the group.
And
exactly. No,
that's a
the
great.
Yeah.
Gehrig, that's the card I had for a long time. I forget what the
Yeah.
pop is. I mean, the PSA pop's only like a total of 200-ish, something like that.
I'm surprised it's that high because you don't see them. Those are stuck
No.
in. Those are in
I'm gonna look it up.
deposit boxes across banks. They ain't coming out anytime soon. Those are
Yeah.
family.
High dollar stuff.
Yeah.
High dollar stuff.
That's only a 24 card set too.
Yeah.
Is that small? That makes sense because you don't see many of the others either. Because I've looked for others just because I like that set enough.
So the The total number of cards that PSA is graded for DeLong is 3,800.
That's small for baseball because everybody loves baseball, so that's a small number.
258 Gehrig.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not a lot. Not a lot at all.
No, that's
You
for an
did
iconic
good on.
baseball player pre-war. That is very, very small. I mean, people are holding that card too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
You never see those pop.
sophistication within your collecting too, right? Because it's like, it's great to have the mainstream one, but when you have one that is, you need to be informed about that part of the hobby, and branch off to that and know what you're doing. There's a sophistication there that's pretty cool too. So those are popular cards.
Yeah, I mean, I love the Gaudy, but
Gaudy's
I
beautiful.
really love the DeLong. Just
oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. All right, guys. Well, I need to go and everything.
yeah,
But,
we've been 2 hours. That's
I
pretty good.
enjoyed it. It was awesome, guys.
Yeah.
Always
good.
Awesome cards too.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out on a Saturday night. I appreciate it.
Yes,
Have a
sir.
safe holiday. I'm sure I'll talk to you guys before that. But
Oh yeah,
everybody
for
here,
sure.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, be safe, all that good stuff.
Yep.
Cheers.
Mhm.
Enjoy
Shout out
the eggnog.
Yep. All right, you guys. Yep.
All right,
Bye
we'll see
bye.
you.
Bye bye.